Elementile, how's it going? All right. So we're gonna get to work on the traffic system for the game. We spent 2.5 hours yesterday morning. I think it was like 2 hours, maybe, kind of talking about it, looking at some stuff. Maybe changing the username soon. Oh, what too? So right now what I'm going to work on is an import script to build the collision shape around our vehicles the way that it needs to be. So we'll work on that. It's import script. Let's go ahead and duplicate this one. How's your stuff coming along, by the way? More like my previous one. Take on 35 just feels weird if I want to work on another project or just play a game. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, I actually find that happens a lot with people who name their Twitch channel after like a company name or a name of a game. I've seen that happen a few times. All right, well, okay, so node. So we're not going to do this iterate thing. Let's see here. Ah, okay. Okay. Um operator. Operators. What? Okay, I could have sworn. Is that not a thing? Huh. Yeah, you can. You can do links. That's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna like insta ban you if you screw up something like that. I don't have any rules listed, so you don't have to. Current state of update / life. Start making it. Had a breakdown. Bon appetit. Moleskio, how's it going? Was it Beef Arena? Was that the game you're working on, Moleskio? Trying to get back into the work. Yeah. Feel it. Variant represents Axis Alliance. Yeah, Beef Arena. I mean for late September release. Okay. And you have a Steam page, right? Steam demo. Can you throw the Steam link in the chat real quick? Can be combined with Transform 3D to represent a rotated or skewed bounding box. Thank you for that. I'm gonna build a tool for myself. I need to get better about how I'm shouting people out, especially people whose games I've been playing. I guess I'm just gonna start collecting this data, and then I'll figure out what to do with it. And Elemental, can you give me a link to your stuff too? If you have a second, it's okay if you don't. All right, go ahead and save that. Oh, YouTube muted it. YouTube muted that one too. Damn. This guy got blocked. Oh, snap. This whole album is not allowed. There you go. I have an idea for a game that is simply awful, but I'm going to take the Aperture Science approach. Don't care. Did it anyways. It's going to be more art than game. Can't be that bad of an idea if it's something you want to do, though. I mean, I don't know, man. I've been watching so many YouTube videos. Everyone's got their thing about, like, what's going to make a good game and what you should do and all that shit, and nobody knows what the hell they're talking about, frankly. How the fuck do I get the damn... Sorry for cussing. How do I get this? Access aligned bounding box. Where do I find this from? Position, Quaternion. I thought it was from Transform. Look, I'm losing my mind. It has this operator. Origin is just a vector 3. If they did, they'd be making that game instead of YouTube videos. Serious. I mean, it's the truth. It's not here. From position, size. Where do I get this from, though? God bless it. The variant type represents an axis aligned bounding box in a 3D space. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, I could have sworn... Basis, scale, quaternion. Nothing there. It's weird because if I do this, like this is what I'm talking about. This shape is it. So I guess I could traverse every single child and merge them all, get the array, the mesh. There it is. Good God. Okay. Okay. We're all set then. So all that, I could have done this by hand. But the reason why this is important to do it this way, at least for what I'm trying to do, is we're eventually going to have our own custom we're gonna have our own custom shapes and stuff, like our own cars and all that stuff, and so it'll be good to be able to get this can't say. All right, Todd, thanks for popping in, man. Appreciate it. Todd Codes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do a shout out to Todd Codes. Streams occasionally, working, has a release on Steam. One day I'll do 3D. I have no idea. Basically, I have one idea that basically requires it. Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know jack on 3D. A lot of this is me just fumbling in the dark. Except UI. I mean, it depends. A lot of times I flatten the problem space into a 2D. So, I mean, you could project things in 3D and have all the data be structured in a 2D. Like, for instance, when I was doing the tactics game, although it had heights and it was in 3D and everything, the playing field was 2D, and there was never ever going to be a bridge where you could be above or below something. So from a data standpoint, it was all just one 2D array. The actual battlefield, for instance. Although everything was projected in 3D and movements and stuff were all 3D and whatnot. I just sort of like mentally just erased 3D from the problem. Each cell in that, you know, battlefield had a height. But like the pathfinding was actually A-star 2D, it wasn't A-star 3D, that kind of thing. So now we're going through every single mesh instance, and we'll just make it but yeah, it's a little daunting at first. There's a lot to it. I would say the harder part for me was it's really materials and stuff that are a little crazy. Oh, I'm just getting started on some stuff for Codex. Let's see. I think it's merge. Okay. Okay. And then this is just a rect, like a rect. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So then we don't want to save ambulance. Okay, let's try this on ambulance. I didn't look at the repo, no. I think I've come up with how I'm gonna do it. So, but I think if I run into any problems, I'll start looking at other people's implementations. But I think I've got a way to do this that'll work for me. I find when I try to more often than not, when I look at how somebody else is doing something and I try to kind of integrate that into my stuff, I end up either changing it so much or tossing it out that I definitely, that's for me, I don't know. But I definitely appreciate the link and everything like that, because if I do run into problems, I'll oh, that's right, the import script. Okay. Import vehicle. Okay. Okay, so we have a number. Yes. Yeah. Well, and also like I know the game that I'm making too, so it's like I'm trying to think about the overall design of everything, and it's like, okay, I definitely want to do it this way or that way. I need this information or whatever. Okay, so for testing purposes, let's take this AB, the axis aligned bounding box or whatever the hell it was called, and let's build a representation of this in the scene. So what is a shape? So we could just all right, build a collision shape. I think that's what we'll do. Okay. So var new or collision shape. New. Okay, and then on the scene. So how's your stuff coming along? The player controller and everything. It's fun too to like work on something and find out that your conclusion is kind of the same as somebody else's. An example of when I actually did end up kind of diving into someone else's attempt at the utility scoring for the tactical game. I didn't actually ever see anyone's code implementing it, but there was a talk about it from the guys who did XCOM, and just the guy talking about it was enough for me to kind of understand what it was doing for me to implement my own way of doing it. But that's one time that I for sure was like, I don't know. I don't know how to tackle this. It's coming. I took a detour to do some doc generation and note rendering for devlog follow along type stuff. Ah, gotcha. Okay, we have a thing here. We have a collision shape. The shape is empty. New box shape. I wonder if it has an instantiation that we can do. Size. So we could just give it the it's a vector 3. What is it expecting? Oh, that's the property. It doesn't have a God damn it, I keep hitting save, but it keeps wanting to save this scene. I don't want it to save that scene. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's so stupid. I hate how associated the damn editor and then the scene tabs are. They should be completely their own thing. Oh, what am I doing that for? Size is called as a function. Oh, it's just okay. There we go. Okay. And so then we need to say collision shape equals this. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. So we'll go ahead and We're gonna go say import with the script. Yep. Okay. And let's go ahead and make a new scene. Ooh, not expecting that. Ooh. Is it empty? What the crap? Oh, it's over here. 3D. Drag it in. Ugh. Parse error only identify. Oh, you know what we're not doing? We're not adding the no scene add child collision shape. Line 11 calls the function. Let's try it again. God bless it, it's doing it again. I hate that. Okay, that's for sure right. Let's there's the collision shape. Oh shit, you know, it's the damn ownership stuff. God, I hate this. Okay, so after we add it, we have to say collision shape. God bless it. Set, or is it owner equals scene? Is that right? God, I hate that. Okay, because it's definitely making it exist. Save that. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just almost trope-ish levels of, you know, like Blade Runner, Akira, Ghost in the Shell, Mega City from Judge Dredd. Actually, probably Mega City is closer to what I'm imagining. There it is. Okay, now does it match? What does it match? Oh, ooh, it's looking good. It's just not on the right point. So we have to get it in the middle. Hell yeah, we did it. Okay, so now, now we want to add a little bit of a buffer to it. So, what we could do is actually create another one The other thing we actually want to do is resize the vehicle, because I think I was messing around with it on my laptop, and the road size and the vehicle size do not match. So let's check that out. We've got city. I think I was doing something with the roads somewhere. That's the preview. Are you gonna? So you're kind of trying to do like a Descent style game, right? Are you gonna kind of follow that, or? The other thing I'll say is I'm definitely going for a low poly thing, mostly just because I want to do original assets, and I don't want to. I need to make it as simple as possible to try and do that. This will work, and then we'll do a grid map with the roads. Okay, and then we'll paint this son of a bitch in. Oh, cells are wrong. Okay. All right, so there's our roads. If we bring in an ambulance. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, we're on grid map. Let's just screwing it up. The fuck? There we go. Yeah, much too big. Much too big. Okay. So let's try half the size. I'm guessing that's still not right. Okay. So divided by 2. That ain't right. Oops. So divided by 4. Ooh, I mean, it looks good, but it's too tight. Like, that's supposed to be kind of a bike lane, right? So divided by 6. There we go. Okay, so we need to scale it down. Do we do this on the parent node? I think we should. Scene. Maybe we just steal the scale here. Scale. This is transform. You know what else we need to do? This is a trick to cast it. It's a way of casting it, but you also get it to test it for free. If you do if scene is, now inside the if statement, it knows that it's a node 3D, and so now you get transform is now correctly the type is now node 3D inside the conditional. So that's a useful little trick to so you don't have to like create a variable and then cast the thing that was node as a node 3D or whatever. You just do a comparison, which is good to do anyways, and then everything inside of it is chill. And I guess we could say this number, instead of it being a magic number, var, or we could say const. 2 streams a day. Did I stream this morning? I think I streamed yesterday morning. God, if I streamed this morning, I'm really out of it because I don't even remember. When you play a JRPG, if there are minor inconsistencies, plot holes in the plot, are you completely turned off? Me? Oh god, dude. I mean, JRPGs are so fucking convoluted anyways. Like, to even catch that, like, I'm just trying to understand what the hell the kingdom name is. No, I'm talking about JRPGs. Like, I wouldn't be able to notice it, frankly. Because it's just like the kingdom of Barania and and the Morglings are attacking us, and it's just like, oh god, like it's just like like all of that, just retaining all of that. I don't even think of I don't know, like I don't care at that point, you know what I mean? So I would say it doesn't matter. I don't think you need to sweat it too much. I think it's just about like the characters and everything when you're playing those games, you know? It's one of those things where like the big bad meets the hero early on but doesn't kill them. Instead, he or she sends a minion to finish them off, but they obviously fell. I mean, you're forgiven. I mean, the way you write yourself out of that is they're easily underestimatable somehow. Or the bad guy doesn't know something about them that makes them the hero kind of thing. And so you could do something like that. Or they're underestimating them. Or another way to write yourself out of that is there's a threat that the big bad has to take care of immediately, and that's your opportunity for your characters to get out. So like they end up having to deal with something and are like, shit, I'll be right back. And then that's when your guys break out of the cell or whatever. So you can figure something out to kind of not make it so like, you know, but I would say that's as kind of a given trope as the game starting out with the main character waking up. You know, like most RPGs, it's like the character wakes up and that's the start of the story. It's a very common thing. I wouldn't worry about it though. I mean, the thing about writing is unless your your art and everything is so tied to what you've written, you can I think you could pretty easily figure out, like, if people are like, this is stupid, you could be like, okay, I can figure something out. Cause like writing is just like so flexible. But you know, if you've built an entire game and it's like, well, shit, I can't really solve this through writing, then I get that too, where you're kind of screwed. What? No, I'm not saying it's low priority at all. God damn it. You're like everybody in my chat. Fuck. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying from my experience, these RPGs are so thick with like nouns, new nouns, let's call it, that I'm drowning in that information so much. Because your original question is, you know, would you notice, you know, a certain thing where that it's just like that kind of stuff. I'm kind of like, I'll miss completely because I'm still I'm trying to follow the story. I'm struggling to just keep everything straight. That's why I appreciate RPGs. I appreciate RPGs that are like each location has its own font or color or something for that location name or that character name or whatever. So you're just like, oh yeah, it's the blue name. I don't know that they even do that, but I think I've seen one that does that, and it's like, oh, thank God I can associate something other than this ridiculous sounding thing to like what they're talking about. The Nintendo ones for the kids, they'll use character icons in the writing as well. So that's like a useful cheat. Yeah, like story lore, I skip out, all right. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the way that I'm planning on writing this thing is it's all going to just sort of be a part of the chatter and everything while you're playing the game. And the only reason why you really have to pay attention to it is specifically it's telling you like, hey, you need to get over here right now, that kind of thing. And then everything else is like diegetic or whatever, however you want to call it. It's in world, and it's like you just sort of get an idea of what's going on because of what you're seeing while you're playing the game. Manji might not be the target. Yeah. If I had to read the game, it's not for me. I'd rather read a book, yeah. But yeah, I the thing I can't stand about JRPGs, or most RPGs, is just like you're drowning in nouns, and it's like, oh, you know, there's some name for magic that's not magic. There's some name for, you know, like gun isn't a gun, or when they start doing stuff like that, it's like, oh Jesus God. And then it's like, you know, every place has a name, and the religion has a name, and it's just like, God, like every character's name is not from like, it's not like a Christian name or like a name, like it's all just like, you know, made up stuff or whatever. So it's like, Jesus, like this is so much. Yeah, yes. That's the part that gets really hard for me to really get involved in things when I'm like, but then at the same time, if their name is like Greg, no offense, Greg. I love Greg. But like if it's like Greg or Gary or like, you know, Amanda, it's like, let's like, we're in this fantasy setting and her name's Amanda. Like, so it's a little like, I don't know. I can't have it both ways really. Is that Keith or Kevin? Yeah. Yeah, no, it's but it doesn't mean I don't like to play those games. That's the funny thing. Like Valkyria Chronicles I love, but there's like it's very clearly like World War II allegory kind of thing going on, or metaphor, or however you want to call it. And, you know, instead of calling them, they call them Darkson or something like that, but that's very clearly they're the stand-in for Jew. And like they're Jewish, you know, but they say it in like this derogatory way. And it's like, okay, these guys are like, you know, the Jews, like, but they don't want to, they don't say that. They call it something else. And it's like, oh, they're treated poorly and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, I get it. I get what's going on here. But then it just builds on more and more and more. And it's like, okay, that's the term for the bad guys, like state police. So those are the SS, but it's like something else, but it's close to it. And you're like, okay, I get what's going on here. So that one I'm kind of gives, I don't know, give a little bit of a pass on it. But then it goes off the rails and it's got all this magic stuff and all this other stuff. And it's like, yeah. And there's this, yeah. But I still love the game. I love the game. And it's because it's like this tactical combat game that, you know, has this really interesting time mechanic to it. And it's broken, but it still works kind of thing. It's a lot like Final Fantasy Tactics, but there's a lot more freedom of movement. It's got heights in 3D, you know, and there's some, it's kind of RNG stuff to it too. But the story's also really good. So, I don't know. But it's still, there's another one that I was playing, that was that way too, where it was like, oh, I think it was also World War II. It was like, oh, we're doing this again. Um, gosh, what was it called? It came out recently. They actually added a new DLC that's like doubles the length of the game. Shoot. What was it called? God, I can't remember. But I remember that game. You're like 12 hours into it and the title drops. And you're like, you thought you just beat the game. And the fucking title of the game pops up like you just played through the intro. And you're just like, holy shit, this is going to be a long game. Gosh, what was that? Also, movies do flashback. There's no visual trigger like sepia tone or clothing changes, and you think you're tripping. Yeah. I couldn't believe they did that in the Star Wars, the second sequel movie. They did a flashback, and it was like Star Wars has always been told very linearly. And to have a flashback, I was like, wow, this kind of breaks. This is like the Star Wars films. If you're going to treat it as this giant, you know, trilogy of trilogies, like to do that is to break the language of all the other films. I thought that was really like not interesting, but I was like, wow, I don't think when it happened, I was like, wow, I don't really think they understand. I don't know. It just kind of was like, I don't think this person understands what's going on here. Like I was really shocked by it. And I know it's a weird thing to be all like, oh, this is kind of off-putting. And it did it multiple times. That was the other thing. It did a flashback. And then it did a flashback again. I think it did it 3 or 4 times. And it's like, wow, this is bizarre. All right, so we have the beat that we need to change that. We're changing the scale. Let's see how we look now. So we'll delete this. Yeah, you know, and like I'm tripping right now because I said singular Jew, which could be like sound derogatory, and I don't mean it that way. I just mean it that in the game that I was talking about, I'm like now I feel like I have to fucking explain myself. But in the game that I'm talking about, they had a plural, and then they had a derogatory version of it. I got you clipped. Thanks, Sorrow. Thanks for canceling me. That would be ironic, though. For different reasons. That would be very ironic. It'd be like, wait a minute. That would be funny. All right. What was I doing? Oh, yeah, the road thing. Okay, so let's do a new scene here. 3D. You know what? I'm just gonna grab road. Gotta be like just straight. Okay. 3D. Drag it in. Wambulance. We're still huge. Oh, you know, well, let's take a look. Yeah, it didn't update the scale. Scene transform. Should be this top here. Don't make me do every mesh. Oh, transform doesn't have scale. What is it called? It's called scale. Huh. Basis origin. Oh, it doesn't. It must be in basis. Get scale. What? Okay. Could have sworn I did this. I feel like 4 has changed some things. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure how much about assignment of scale with type vector 3 scaled. I don't know what the problem is. It's literally saying vector 3. Unexpected tear as it's. Let's clear it out and do it again. Scale vector 3. Returns a copy of this transformed scaled by the given scale factor. This method is an optimized version of multiplying the given transform with x with corresponding. This can be seen as transforming with respect to the global parent frame. Returns a transform scaled. What is our problem? Assignment. Hang on a second. Let's try just assignment of property scale with value vector 3. I'm using scaled. What the hell's the problem here? Let's just do 1 since we know that's what it is. Like, what's the problem? Good God, man. Vector 3, 1. Transform. 3D. Give it to me. Scale. I feel like I've lost my mind. I remember I could just set the scale. I've done it before. Is this maybe on node 3D? Just on the parent? Where the property is from? Yeah, okay. Good God, I'm such an idiot. Okay. Scale. There we go. Okay. Re-import. The fuck? It's still giving me that error. Try it again. Oh, you know what? We're not... God, I hate that. We're not saving the actual script. It was probably working at some point, what I was doing. And actually, this is slower, as we just learned. The function call is faster according to the docs. I'm guessing it's a C++ thing. It is C++ in a leaner way than doing it this way, at least from what I just read. So maybe assigning transform with transform dot scaled is quicker. Like if you're in a for loop and you're doing a lot of scaling and you want to improve performance, that might be something to consider. I don't really care about it for our needs here, but might be something to look at. Now, where did our ambulance go? Now, is it super small? Did we make it disappear? Let's delete this. Clear this out. Drag our ambulance in. Is that gonna work? Did I make it really small? Transform. Scale. No, these are not floats. And therefore, we are doing integer math and ending up with a whole number that's like less than half, and so it becomes 0, right? So that's probably what's going on there. Import again. There we go. Finally. Okay. So now here's a problem. One of our problems is the old collision box for this some bitch is too big. No, it's scaled with it. Yes. Okay, so then we just need to match the center of. It is in the center. We need to get the height and set it to the bottom, and then we just need to adjust the add a spacer to our collision size, and then our vehicle, all of our vehicles will then automatically be set up for the thingy-majiggy. Yeah. Okay, we're getting there. Okay, so we take. What do we take? We got size, bounding box width, height. So we're gonna take heights, the old y-axis, and then we're just gonna let me just double check on collision shape. Can we do anything about where we are coming from? No, but we have our transform here. So then we take. Are we going to adjust the box shape? We should probably do the. No, not the box shape. We can't do the box shape. We have to adjust the collision shapes transform. So then we say. Collision shape position y equals I mean, it technically is now collision shape size y divided by 2. And that should bump us up. Save it. And re-imports. There we go. Booyakasha. And now we are going to add a little bit of a spacer here in the front. How much of a spacer? I don't know. Let's say, I mean, our scale is what? We could just use the scale that we're doing here and create a new ABBA. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. So we're going to create a new ABBA. I'm sorry for this lingering cough. I've tried everything. Drinking hot drinks. The only thing that really works is throat, the lozenges, as my wife calls them. I don't think that's what they're called, but the like the little sucker treats things. It's all right. I understand. Those little treats. So our size, we have our height, and so all we need to do is create a depth, and then we need to offset it. I wish I had a foot pedal for muting. Or even just I guess a button. Nah, I'd prefer a foot pedal. Position. And size. Okay, cool. Oh, cool. So we're going to create a new ABBA. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. So after we do this, we're going to create another ABBA. We're going to call this bumper space ABBA equals ABBA. Position is going to be shit. To figure all this crap out. Half of, okay. Position is half. ABBA has size. It's not X. Z. So we're not doing anything to Z or Y. We're doing it to X. ABBA. Size Z divided by 2.0. Okay. And then size is going to be, I'm sure there's other math ways of doing this. I use number 0 and I have a MMO mouse. Yeah, I need one of those fucking, yeah, that's what I need. I need one of those mice that has like 17 buttons. That's exactly what I need. I used to have one with buttons for your thumb, you know? That's what I should get. You know, I shouldn't waste my time on that either. I should do that sooner rather than later. Logitech must fave. The really, yeah, that's the one I had. Is it the really heavy Logitech, and the scroll wheel is like you could flick it and it'll just keep going, like a centipede controller at the old arcade. Oh, it doesn't do it. I took the weights out. So the Z, so we're going to keep ABBA size X, ABBA size Y, and then the Z is scale. ABBA is not declared. Why am I able to use it here, you dumbass? Oh, because I literally called it ABBA. That's what I get for. That's what I get for being. Ah, shit. That's really funny. Oh, we're not merging it. I'm like, it didn't do anything. It's because we didn't merge it. So then we say ABBA equals ABBA merge bumper space. I'm not gonna make it. I saw the new Superman movie. I really liked it. Shit. Okay, so it padded the whole goddamn thing. Okay, so something must be wrong with my the old cricket math. Let's read what merge does. Returns an ABBA that encloses the bounding box and... Oh, that's a misspelling. That should be width. And the width around the edges. Well, chances are my numbers are wrong here. You know what we could do to test it is we could just move ABBA position equal to So I'm beginning to think maybe position end. Position. The origin point. This is usually the corner on the bottom left and forward of the bounding box. You know what I could do is to visualize this. So much for making traffic happen today, guys. This is kind of step one, though, is getting this this collision thing going. And besides, we're doing this because we know that we're going to be... There's a reason why we're even doing it. Because I could by hand, blah, 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 but I'm not. And I get that, but there's a reason why we're setting this up so that we can do it in the future. Automatically. Okay, so if we have this ABBA and then we create a new collision shape, 2 collision shape boogaloo. But saying that's bad now too, right? That has like implications now. Bumper space, and then we do new box shape. And we go like that. Bumper space. Boop. Size. Shape. Shape position. Let's save its imports. Okay, there's our bumper shape. Okay, it looks like what I'm imagining. It's too small. Okay, so that's fine. We'll fix that. Now I just need to kind of get it where it needs to be. Beginning to think the position is kind of horseshit. But the problem here is got Linux and Windows build going, and now I just got to figure out how to trim the build of all the junk I don't need. Oh, well, you had talked about this too. If you're already designing the game, you can go into project, or maybe it wasn't you that had talked about it. I don't know. But you can go to tools and then engine compilation configuration editor, and then you can detect from project, and it'll just give you a profile that you can feed the yeah, you rebuild the engine with that, and it just tears out all the stuff that your game doesn't use. Well, and it's specifically, you can feed it into your export. So when you can build custom exports. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you're building the engine from scratch, you'll be able to figure that out, no problem. I wonder why the position shit's not working right. Okay, so if we read up on position again, the origin point, this is usually the corner. But I wonder if we're... See, I feel like I could make... Oh, maybe it does... I mean, if I put this as like number 2. Who does number 2 work for? Yeah, see, it does jack shit. See, okay. Position and size. Yeah, I wonder, can we can expand to point. Expanded to align the edges to the given 2 point if necessary. That's even easier. I don't have to do any of this shit. Maybe. See, here's the thing. If we just add to okay. Expand. And then we say 2 point size. So we say size plus. And then we say vector. I am vector 3. I come in darkness to point. We're going to pool. It should be the Z, I believe. Save it. Ah, I hate. Ah, God, that's annoying. Oh shit. What happened? I broke something. Oh, it didn't finish the, that's why that happened. So it went through most of the script, but not all of it. That's funny. And then we re-import. There we go. Look at this. Oh, this little son of a bitch is still in there. Look at that son of a bitch. Okay, so Z lied. What? Why did it go tall? Okay, so it's working. It's working! Get rid of all this crap. It's just not doing where we want to do it. I would have really thought Why is Z up? That's the Y. Ra. Let's save it again. Yeah, no, it's padded on the top. And if we don't do this... Ah, I hate that, man. Drives me nuts. So stupid. At least prompt me to be like, hey, are you trying to save the script? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Thanks. So now... What in the... The scale is wrong. Padded. Why do we got this extra height here? What is going on? I'm guessing it didn't finish the script. Let's try the Z. I mean, come on. I'm in the gosh darn... I'm in the script. It shouldn't even prompt. It should be smart enough to know what I'm trying to save. This isn't doing anything. Expand. Turns a copy of this bounding box to align to the edges with the given 2 point if necessary. Oh, you know what? We need to assign it back. We're not doing that. My bad. Yeah, you need to... Yeah, you got it. Oh, shit. Okay. Now it's... Why is it so big? That's what she said. Okay, so we're going to go 0 here. Go back on the Z like we thought it should be. Re-import. Position. So we don't need the size plus. Okay, that's what it is. Expand. What we need is size Z plus there we go. Okay. Now they were doing something with a negative number. You can offset it. See, that's interesting because if we expand, what happens if we do this? Nothing should happen. If my understanding is correct, it should look like how it was. No. Okay. It's a float. Is it just too small? Let's just try 0.5. Does jack shit. Again. 10. Draws it out to 10. But it's not, it's a position thing. It's weird because it shouldn't be that. Oh, it's our scale. Wonder. Look on the z-axis behind the unit. No, the z is this way. It just seems too much. Let's compare the before and after. That's right. How's it going, Wild? Wild style. And just to confirm, I mean, right here. Those Ernest movies, going back to those Ernest movies. Look at that. We should be adding these two numbers together, and somehow we're getting this wild growth. So what happens when we add them together? Ah, shit. Another line. Fuck, I just realized I left my friend on red. Oops. So look at that. This is a much more rational number. Why does it become this? How does this become 15 here? Oh, it's pushing. Okay, I get it. It still doesn't explain what's happening with us right now. Let's throw this in a float. Test float equals this, and then we put that in here. No, I'm not wanting to scale. It's expand. I mean, these examples here, they have the Like here we have 5 to 5. They expanded by 10. It becomes 10 to 5, right? Right. So that's I'm expanding, so we have 1.5, 1.9, 3.2, and I'm expanding it by 0, 0, 3.41. So it should only grow this one by that much, but it suddenly becomes way bigger. Everything else stays the same. It's like too big. Is there any change elsewhere happening to the no. Well, you know what I could do? Knowing this, I could just set Z to that, right? So in theory, I could say, let's try that. We'll just try abba.z equals test. If we can assign it. Oh no, size. Size.z, if we can assign. And then there we go. Okay, that's way more rational. So then and obviously we don't want to use scale. So we could do like a quarter. Const bumper float equals 1.0 divided by 2.0. And like that, and then we just need to offset it. Maybe 1. Maybe 1 is fine. Yeah, and then we just offset it over to the left by that. Forward on the Z. Okay. So that does the same thing. The way that I was imagining it. Oh, but you don't have to get rid of test. We can do it like here, like that. And then all we need to do is say in the position. So there's position Y and collision shape position Z equals I don't know. Let's my brain is too fried to do this kind of math right now. By half, that's right. Okay. Divided by 0.2. And then we got it. We got it. There we go. Now we got a nice little space in the front. That's what we were trying to do. So now we can assign this to all of our vehicles. Delivery flat. Oh, I see. Debris tire. Let's wheel truck. We don't need the wheels. Okay. And ambulance. And we're going to say import vehicle. Yay! Okay, so that's done. Excellent. Okay. Now, Onwards and upwards. Yeah, on import. And that way when I add new meshes, I'll have the same sort of expected behavior to have this like padded space. And then if the mesh ever changes too, it'll automatically re-import and adjust it for me. So when I start creating a bunch of different types of like vehicles and stuff, I mean, that happened at runtime, right? No, it's on the import. So like if I were to versus just as the games, because it lets me this way when I drag it in, it's just visually there already and done. So like by doing it on import, it means that the scene structure of this thing when I drag it in, like if I did a new inherited scene, it would just have that ready to go. And if we change the model or anything like that, in development, if I was looking at it on like a scene or something, I would see that change reflected automatically. So it would just look through all the meshes, build the thing, put the buffer in front of it, and yeah. I recently kind of came across this, and it's like revelatory because, for instance, if you are like you have a bunch of meshes but they don't have collision shapes, you can just shit out a bunch of collision shapes automatically. You could assign their masking and stuff, and so you could even look at the properties of like a mesh and be like, oh, okay, like depending on the game you're making, you could be like, oh, this thing is a curve, it's like a curve thing, and so the like I don't know why you would do this, but you could look at some detail of the thing and go and just create sort of this logical thing to it, so that yeah, you're just not doing it, you're just kind of pre-baking it, I guess you could say. So it's just part of the scene, it's already packed in the scene, so then there's no like those cycles of creating that or whatever are already done, and it's just packed into the scene now. Not that it would be like a lot or whatever, but if it was part of like an initial load or something, it could theoretically, you know, it could add up. It depends. I mean, you kind of saw that right there when I did the import. It took a little bit of time, so but it's also just nice to know that if it changes, because it's part of an import script, it'll just on like if this was opened up in Blender and you changed it and you saved it and you went back to Godot, you would see the import script, you would see import pop up for a split second, re-import it, and you know, oh, it's going to apply my script to that thing. So yeah, so that's why this is worth it. A little bit of extra work to kind of get this going, because I am going to be creating my own vehicles and all that kind of stuff. So it's just nice to know that that's going to be in there. I thought it would be a lot quicker, frankly. I thought this would be like maybe a 30-minute thing, but I think it's been like an hour or 2 hours. Oh, jeez. Oh, well. Jesus, that might be the stream for me. What time is it? Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. I wonder if my buddy wants to play some Space Marines. Let me see. See here, give me a second. Hey, buddy. Oh, you want to say hi to everybody? You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Come say hi. I'm just a big, scary German Shepherd, aren't I, Papa? I'm the most scariest German Shepherd there ever was. Yeah. Love you, buddy. Man, there's these chihuahuas that torment him when I walk him, that are like live right across the street from our house. They're awful. They're getting like worse and worse, and the neighbors don't seem to give a damn. They just run free, and they're coming up to him and like attacking him now. And he's so damn good about it. He just takes it, and he just wants to be friends with every dog, basically. But like, It's funny because when he's in the yard and I'm playing fetch with him or whatever, the Chihuahuas are totally chill with him and like leave him alone because I think they realize he's like not on leash. And they're like, oh yeah, he could kill us if he wanted to. So they're just like, suddenly the rules change. And they're just like, yeah, never mind. He's cool. He's cool. He could hop that fence in like 2 seconds. He also doesn't, I think he doesn't do anything because he knows he doesn't need to. But yeah, so it's like the collision shape here or on the so this is giving an error because we're not a there's no physics that the collision shape is added to. So we'll have to do that too soon. But we have the main logic figured. So that's good. And there's like a dozen other ways we could have done this too. But this is fine. So now what we need to get worked out is for the city, we're going to create a roads node. Do we even need, because it's going to be a grid map, so I don't think we need, I think we just do the grid map. Build the mesh library in. All right. So there's only 4 road types for now. Where are we so small? Are we small? Seems like we're small. No, we're actually very zoomed in. Okay. 1, 1, 1. Okay. So when we do this or we rotate it, we need to build the hey buddy. So what do you call that thing, Codex? You call it, I don't remember what it was. Was it inversion? I don't know. Throwing the scene element into an export. It's not even a UI. It's incredibly useful though. I like combining it with an assertion. I find I'm using a. The dog is dying. I find I'm using assertions in a. I don't know what you call it. Is it defensive? But when the game crashes because of something, and then I fix it, and it's something that I know is related to the scene organization or something that I, as the level designer or whatever, I have to do, I create an assertion the minute that thing is being created to check for that thing that I know as a human being I would fuck up because I did. And then that way if I forget, it immediately yells at me. And I go, oh yeah, I forgot about that. It's handy. I used that really proactively in the inner tube game when we were just going fast, and it was like, okay, this is really useful because I know we're going to forget this. And sure enough, yeah, later on we did. So we're gonna look at the signals for changed. Really? Okay. Jesus. It's that vague? Oh, so cool. So I just get a notification that something changed in it. Cool. Something changed. I don't know. Thanks. Road changed. It's so fucking... I don't know. You figure it out. So... Now I have to go through every single one. Criminy! Okay, we also need to create an A star. Implementation. Can I throw this in here? No, I didn't think so. It's just a ref counted object. Okay. So var A star. And it actually doesn't need to be the 3D. A star 2D. A star 2D. Okay. Oh, that's right. Hang on. I texted my buddy. I gotta find out. Oh, hang on. Sure. I'm feeling chicken, so like... Feeling chicken? What? Okay. Not sure what that means, but cool. No. Okay. So for the A star 2D, you just find the shortest path between two vertical vertices in a connected graph in a 2D space. Okay. So anytime... Oh, Jesus. This is going to be... Haha. Grilling chicken. Oh! Autocorrect was totally retarded. Okay. Whoops. Sorry. I was reading... I didn't say that. My friend did. I shouldn't have read that out loud. I apologize. I apologize. Jesus, cricket. Good God, man. Add points. Position. Now, does it duplicate? I don't think it duplicates if it's ID. Oh. I did all this already. I did all this kind of math already. Did I open up that game? God, it was in C#. ID. Oh, that's right. Okay. ID to ID in the position. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if we're okay. Um let's think about this. So we have one cell position. And then we have 4 points, and they can be shared with the adjoining cell position. These points we have to assign unique IDs to, as well as positions. And position's easy to figure. It's an integer. In a simple way, this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So if we pad a number in our vector position determines the cell number, and let's say we're at, or let's say think of it as a flat array, and 0, 0 is 0, and we pad the number. Might have to start with 1. 0 might need to be 1 initially for this to work. Because what I'm imagining is, instead of it being like 1, 2, 3, we have these little guys here. So it'd be 10, 11, 12, and so on. And then if our next one was 2, it would be 20, 21, 22, 23. But it's fine. Thank you for the raid.
Cool.
Good shout out.
You think it's cool? It's cool. It's not cool.
Oh, hi. Oh, hey there. Hi. Oh, hi.
Shout out to Finish Fine. 97.1 FM.
Thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. We're trying to build a road system for a game that we're making that's a bit of a clone of an old PS1 classic called it was also on PC. It was called J-Police. I've been making a bus. Excellent. So some modeling, and I plan to use PSX shaders. Very, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's the hotness. What do we got going on here? 5-hour stream. Jesus, you must be tired. If you need some rest, get some rest.
So it came back as like 2 over what it was.
Wow, this looks amazing. You know what? Get the hell out of here. You suck. I hate this shit. It sucks. This is this is so cool.
Live.
Oh, that's not mine. All right. Okay. I'm feeling a little better now. I just had to make a drive and stuff. Okay. Okay. Dresder music show. How's it going? But I could do that if I wanted. Did you even see my radio? I've seen your work. Sweet. Oh, M was in your chat. M's a good one. She's a good one to have in the belt. The old streamer Rooney. So what are you, what engine, is this, are you in Unreal? Is that what I'm seeing? Yeah, because this is Blueprints, right? Yeah, so I actually created sort of a blueprint-ish like system for this game in Godot. I'm calling it the scenario editor here, and let me load. So it's a very much a work in progress, but it's a node system. But the nodes are totally tailored and are going to be completely custom for the for the game itself. So it's not like a visual scripting thing. It's more like a visual. Well, we're calling it a scenario editor. So it's like you're just calling up different. You're giving things behaviors. You're giving them destinations. You're giving blah 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 blahs. So the thinking of the game, like what I'm working on right now, is getting the traffic system going. I could break it down for you, but you're probably super tired. So side project, I do the tedious stuff for the main one off stream. It's mostly practice for setting up game modes and switching between them. Because, you know, one bit you're a person and the other bit you're a bus. Yeah, no, yeah, I got you on that. That's one of the nice cheats about this game is you're always just going to be this like VTOL aircraft that I don't know if you actually say it as VTOL, but it, you know, you're just this flying thing that we're never going to show a player character or anything like that. So your player controller is this like flying ship thing. But we're working on traffic right now. The basic, we're going to be using, for now, the world is going to be flat. It's not necessarily always going to be that way, but we're doing like a 30-day prototype. The world is going to be flat. We've got, we're going to use A-Star for pathfinding on this. We're going to have like drone-like traffic where the majority of the traffic in the game is going to be like automaton almost. Like it's not really thinking. It's got its destination. It's a pre-baked curved path that it's following, and it just checks to see if there's a thing in front of it that says you can't move, and if there is, then it hits the brakes, and if there isn't, it keeps going. And we do that for the stoplights, so that if the light is on and it basically sees a collision in front of it, it's going to stop. If the light's green, then it's going to go away, and it's going to be able to keep moving and following its path. And we're limiting the design of the roads very particularly so that we don't have to add too much complexity to it initially. And then we're going to have like a live traffic that is like the scripted stuff that then can bob and weave in between it and do whatever it wants. But for the majority of it, it's just sort of like droning about. And each of the vehicles will probably have like kind of different speeds and stuff and like braking and things like that. Maybe we'll give it some characteristics like that, but for the most part, yeah, it's just and then maybe with A-Star we'll do something really cool where we add weights to describe traffic patterns, and if it's like got a heavier weight or a lighter weight for finding a way around heavy traffic and stuff like that. So initially the plan is to just like get this going and then cache a bunch of vehicles and then just like pop them in, give them a destination, they go there, they disappear, pop them in somewhere else, they come out of like a parking lot or a underground parking structure, and yeah. So we're just trying to get there basically. And so we just worked on an import script so that we automatically apply this sort of buffer that I was just describing. So if I were to drag like this ambulance in, it's too low. Let me adjust the grid map right here really quick. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. So So like this ambulance has, oh, it's still not quite right on the heights. Does it need to be 0.25? Or just 0? Can I not make it 0? Wait, this is, hang on a second. Oh, that's the cell. Whoops. Negative 0.5. There we go. So yeah, so you can kind of see it. There's a collision in front in here, and now any vehicle we put in should, in theory, I've actually checked. Yeah, it's gonna have this little space here, so that if you imagine this vehicle is driving, and then it goes into the collision area, it does need to be a bit bigger. If it goes into the, if it sees in front of it that it's colliding with this vehicle, then it just hits the brakes. So that buffer needs to be bigger, because that's going to be like a late breaker there. So we'll have to make it a little bit bigger, I think. So maybe 2. Maybe it needs to be 2. Double it. So that's kind of how the behavior of the traffic is going to be. Pre-baked A star for pathfinding. We pre-bake a path follow, and then we just have it navigate that and stop and go when it's in colliding with another object. Or engineering pileups. Yes, exactly. So A star 2D because it's flat. Do they check their mirrors before they hit the brakes? Nope. No. Yeah, so A star 2D for now. And actually I have used it'll be easy to convert it over to 3D. It'll be easy to convert it. Is that what it's like? The traffic there? So now we just have to come up with and I could look at an old game that I made for the data structure for the IDs. I think I might just do this though. So we just pad every number. We start out at 1 and not 0 indexed. And we can convert a coordinate like this into a point in the pathfinding. Pretty much terrible drivers. Yeah. I feel like driving just in general, people are just getting worse at it. Oh! My dog wants to say hello. Say hi. Want to smooch? Want to make out? You want to make out? On the stream in front of everybody? He never licks me. He doesn't, except at night when he gets on top of me. I get into bed and then he gets on top of me for like, he does this like nightly routine where he gets on top of me and he just stares into my eyes really intently. And then like really obsessively just stares at me and crushes my whole body with his weight. And then he'll give me like a quick lick. And then he's and then he goes under. Oh, you got the Godot gun! Lift your foot up. Lift your paw up. Up. Here. This cord is too long. I need to throw it back there. My cat cleans me. Man, the cat tongue is like sandpaper. It's like a deep cleaning. It feels like you're being cleaned by like a pumice stone, like a volcanic rock. It's just like and you like when you look at their tongue, it's crazy. It's got these like little razor. It's kind of like in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man when it zoomed in on his fingertips and it had those like little serrated points on them. I don't have the heart to stop them. I'm like, okay, just get a move on. Yeah. No, and cats, you know, if they're not the kind of crazy cat where they'll lick you and then suddenly they just and then just bite you, because there's some that are just like, you know, They just are mentally crazy. If they're just being sweet, you know, you just let them. It's so they can drink, right? Dogs can fold their tongue, but cats use the hooks to grab water. Is that right? I didn't know that. I feel like it would also help getting like the meat off of a bone really good. Like just whatever was left on it, if you were just continuously licking it, you would just. But then again, cats eat like, you know, I've seen one of my cats. I lived out in the country, and she caught a rabbit, and yeah, it's probably for cleaning themselves. She caught a rabbit. She ate the whole thing, you know, the bones and everything. There was nothing left. So like, they're not, you know, yeah, I don't know. Cats are strange. It definitely feels like they're guests in your house, you know? Like they just look at you as like living arrangements. And cats can just at any point will just be like, you know what? I'm not going to live with you anymore, and they'll just leave. if they're outdoor cats, you know? And then all of a sudden you'll be like a year later. Sorry, my dog is like really wanting my attention. Do you need to go outside? You need to go outside? Okay, hang on a sec. That's about to turn into nighttime there. Night vision engaged. It's not that bright right now. Is it not? Is the pug out there? I don't see him. The one we have is a bit useless. He has to be an indoor boy. Oh no. Does she want to come downstairs, Bear? She's excited about tomorrow. I'll be streaming tomorrow with my daughter. We're working on a baking game together. That's going to be every Monday. And so she's really excited. We've been doing extremes occasionally. She's 8. If you want to see an 8-year-old correct me and be right all the time, an 8-year-old girl, he's just like, you're wrong, it's this, and it's just like, she does, but she's trying a 15-minute sleep then. Okay. I let Calvin out. Is Mr. Pig out? Ah, shit. There's another problem with this. I'm remembering doing all this again. I remember figuring this out. It's all coming back to me. This is +1. -1. +1. -1. And then we have a singular ID for this. Yeah. But there's something else. Let me look it up. God, I'm gonna look up some really nasty old code, guys. I gotta get the mono version of Godot. Dang it. Alright guys, I'm gonna raid out because I am going to be playing Space Marine 2 with a buddy of mine. 23 of you hanging out here, I appreciate it. Normally don't stream at night. Much love to everybody out there. Let's go ahead and find somebody to raid. Normally don't stream at night. Ooh, you know what? Dianara is streaming. Everybody out there, let's go. Dianara is streaming. Hey sweetie. Is Dianara streaming? Yes. Unity game development. Let's do that. It's some sort of jam. Oh, I was gonna take a break. Alright, we're getting ready to raid out. Much love to everybody out there. Yeah, I'm sorry for ending the stream so quickly. The next time I'm working on this particular game will be on Tuesday. And we're gonna be I'm going to maybe off stream. I'm gonna find the old code. I did figure this problem out 2 different ways for 2 different solutions, 2 different things. But there was one I made for a train game, pathfinding for a train game, and I think I figured a pretty elegant way of doing the ID structure tied to vector coordinates, and so I'm gonna look that up. And so what I'm working on right now is when we lay out a road, we have 4 different road types, and when we rotate it and everything like that, we need to assign the points that will be available for the pathfinding for the A-star. So we're gonna work that out on Tuesday. All right, guys, I will see you guys then. Bye bye.